Hello guys, welcome to my channel today, and today I'm going to show you how you can start your programming journey. A lot of questions like I want to be a programmer, I want to code, I want to make software, I want to write software, I want to talk to computers. Now the truth is that if you don't have a good guide, if you don't have a good map, you're going to really struggle. So this video is designed to show you how you can get started in your programming career and start writing code. So if you have plans or it has been on your mind to be a programmer, this video is for you. You need to keep watching today. So today I'm going to talk about getting started with programming. Yes, if you want to start programming, if you have plans of being a programmer, it can be a daunting task, it can be scary, it can be overwhelming, and I really understand. I have been there. So here I'm going to show you how you can get started, the right steps you can take, the map you need to navigate around from being a beginner to being a good programmer. So what is programming basically? Programming involves writing code and making useful software. The apps you use, to WhatsApp, to Facebook, to Twitter, to anything software, they are all written with lines of code. Now there are various kind of programming languages all over the internet. There are so many programming languages. So I understand that you can be confused as a beginner as to what to learn because you just don't know what to do. So this video is designed to show you how you can get started, where you should get started from, and how you can maximize your learning process. The first thing I need to say is that there are 4 steps you need to take to become a good programmer. So what are the 4 steps? I'm going to explain them very shortly. So the first one is going to be, you need to pick a niche. What do I mean? Like I said, the programming world is very vast. There is a wide range of options you have as a programmer. You can decide to make websites, you can decide to make apps, you can decide to solve algorithm problems, you can decide to go into machine learning. So unless you decide on what you want to do, you'll be moving around in circles and you might just end up not doing something. You end up discouraged. As a matter of, as a rule of thumb, anyone I try to coach on programming, this is the first task I make sure they take by themselves. So to do this, to choose a niche, to choose where you're going to be going into, to choose what you're going to be making or creating, advise that you take a short course on introduction to computer science. That will basically open your eyes to show you the various career opportunities we have in programming, to show you so that you can be able to pick what you want to do, whether you'll be making websites, writing apps, or solving algorithm problems, or machine learning, or data science. There's a wide range of options, like I usually say. So what you have to do is to zero down on a niche. Unless you do that, you really not achieve much. Now I know a lot of beginners, they will be trying to do everything. Okay, today they'll learn React, tomorrow they look at learning Python, the next tomorrow they want to learn Julia, the next tomorrow they want to learn F sharp. That way you will not achieve much. So make a decision on what you want to learn, decide on that, and that way it will be easier for you to move forward. Step number 2 is you have to know the resources to use. Now the truth is there are so many thousands of learning materials online, websites, apps, videos, documents, documentation, and unless you really understand that not all of them would not go far. Now the truth is, if you want to learn web development, for example, you should be looking at freecodecamp.org. That has a very good syllabus. If you go to Solo Learn, you learn, but you may not learn as much as you learn on freecodecamp.com. If you want to learn mobile development, you probably it depends on your language actually. If you want to learn with that, I recommend you take Angela's use course, or you go to educative.io. So there is a path, there are paths for different career opportunities. So whether you want to learn mobile, web, Android development, iOS, Swift code, you just need to know that there are optimized paths that you must take. Now the truth is, this is majorly influenced by your personality. You have to understand yourself. Do you learn better by watching videos? Do you learn better by reading books? Do you learn better by doing examples? When you look at yourself, understand how your brain works, understand what works best for you, you'll be able to choose this track best suited for you. What is the third point? The third point is you need to start learning and practicing. Now, yes, learning is very important. It is extremely important to learn. Unless you learn, you will not progress. Unless you learn, you will not know. You need to gather knowledge, gather experience. Now, I mentioned learning and practicing. Now, as a rule of thumb in programming, as long as you're learning, practicing is even much more important. It is usually said that a valid project is more important than 1,000 tutorials you have on your laptop. It's not just important to compile tutorials, to watch. Even as you're watching, make sure you're practicing. So let's say today you learn how to make an Hello World website. You should practice it. Do it 5, 10, 15, 20 times or as much as possible until it sticks. So you have to practice, practice, practice. A popular adage says practice makes perfect. So you need to really practice. Unless you practice your code, you will not really be a good software developer. You'll be an average developer. So you should become a good programmer from knowing nothing from scratch. You need to know that practice is very, very important. Okay, let's say tomorrow you learn how to make a dice app. You should practice it. Close the code, temporarily close the tab where you're watching tutorial and try and do it by yourself. Try and make it by yourself. Unless you create it, you will not really go far. Your growth will be slow. So a very good way to measure to make your growth faster is to practice. And as you're practicing, do these things, create that stuff, make that thing, practice what you've learned, incorporate it into simple project. Fourth step you need to take. The fourth step is that you should be active in developers community. Now, thankfully, thanks to the digital age, there are so many developers community online where you can interact with other software developers, other programs. That way, you use to rub minds together and learn things from other perspectives. Once you follow them, yes, once in a while they talk about other stuffs, but most times they talk about stuff they make, stuff they create, problems they encounter, and how they encounter them. That way, you get to have an up-to-date knowledge of what they are doing, and that way your growth is faster. Also, apart from Twitter, you should look at Ashnode. Ashnode is a blogging community for developers. So imagine a software developer pouring his heart into a blog post, writing the things he's learned down, writing the things he's just created. You will learn very good. So action is very important. Also, Stack Overflow. My God, Stack Overflow is really, really good because once you just type in your coding question on Google, you get good answers, probably from Stack Overflow. So on Stack Overflow, there are seasoned developers who have spent decades, years, their lifetime coding. So once you can ask questions there, you can ask questions on Google to redirect you to a Stack Overflow answer. That way you would not be puzzled, you'll not be too confused. That way you have a better learning experience. So I'll go over these 4 steps again for those that fast forwarded. Number 1, you should choose a niche. Number 2, know where to learn. Number 3, know how to learn by practicing. Number 4, be active and interactive in developers community. So these are the 4 things you need to know. Once you can put this into practice, I'll show you you've started your path of being a programmer. Now it's very important that you practice. I cannot overemphasize this. Practice, 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 practice. It is highly important to practice. So I'm going to help you today for watching this video. So if you have decided, if you've chosen a niche, that is step 1. You've done that by yourself and you don't know where to learn, you don't know where to get started, just comment below what you want to learn and how best you learn. For example, you can type, I want to learn Flutter and I learn best by watching videos. Once you type that, I'll show you, I'll provide a link to a free online course or a free material you can actually look at and get started on your journey. Now it's very important to get started. Once you can get started, it's very easy to maintain the momentum. So I wish you the best in your coding journey. I wish you the best in your programming experience. Enjoy the ride. It's going to be full of ups and downs. It's going to be really confusing at the point, but enjoy the ride, and these 4 tips will help you soar and learn at a very fast rate. If you have any questions, comment below and make sure you